Welcome to Masked Matches of May. If you are unaware, this is a thing I have done for the last 2 years. In 2017, I did highlights of various masked careers in Lucha and abroad. Then in 2018, I did a match recommendation / review a day. Both 2017 and 2018 were just written, and I'll link to them in the description for this video. In 2019, I'll be doing a daily match recommendation review on video, or audio, but I will be uploading all these to YouTube. You can participate by commentating on this video and anywhere it's posted. I'd love to hear what others have to say about all of these matches. If you join my Patreon at the $10 level, I'll even let you suggest a match as long as it's easy to watch online, free, and of course includes a masked talent, because it is Masked Matches of May. If you pay $5 on my Patreon, you'll get access to match commentaries, of which there will be one for every match I do this month. These are commentary tracks that you can listen to with the match, hear my thoughts on it, watch along live with me basically. This may be added to the start of all videos, so I'll give a timestamp so that you can skip over this patch talking about the Patreon. This is early May 17th, 2019, and yesterday's highlighted match is CMLL World Trios Champion La Sombra versus CMLL World Middleweight Champion Jushin Thunder Liger for the CMLL Universal Championship. Taped and aired on August 13th, 2010 in Arena, Mexico, this was a Super Friday. First, we have to talk about the Universal Championship. For those unaware, the Universal Championship in CMLL is awarded once a year to a winner of a Tournament of Champions. La Sombra won a block on one Super Friday, as did Liger on the next Super Friday. Then on the third Super Friday, the two are clashing in a final. This is how most of CMLL's important tournaments work. Jushin Thunder Liger was covered yesterday, so this will be a briefer summary. Debuting in 1984 and winning New Japan Pro Wrestling's Lion Cup in 1986, then going on excursion, he was called back in 1988 to Japan when New Japan Pro Wrestling had a gimmick they wanted him to use, based on Jushin Liger, which was a popular anime at the time. They were hoping this gimmick would be a success like they had with Tiger Mask. He would of course then go on to dominate New Japan Pro Wrestling's junior division in the 90s before basically retiring as a junior heavyweight title contender in 2000, since he already had the most reigns, defenses, and days with that belt, which he still holds the top spots of all three to this day nearly 20 years later. He was still active in the company and holding other less prestigious titles, as well as working in various other companies and holding various gold in them as well, as we see here in 2010. Right now, Jushin Thunder Liger is riding the road to retirement, announcing that Wrestle Kingdom 2020 will be his last outing on January 4th, 2020, with he and Minoru Suzuki feuding recently as well. La Sombra, or Andrade as he is now known stateside, was a rising star for CMLL at this time. Getting his start a month before his 14th birthday in a promotion his family ran, he would first use the name Brillante Jr., with his mask being the same design his father wore as a mid-carder in AAA. He made his professional debut in CMLL at the age of 17, debuting in February of 2017 and not turning 18 until November 3rd of that year, wrestling 50 matches in CMLL before that date came. Winning his first title in the company, the NWA World Welterweight title, from Hajime Ohara, who now works in Noah. La Sombra is a third-generation wrestler, grandson of El Moro, father Brillante, and uncles Espanto Jr., Moro III, Zafiro 1 and 2, and Kevin, one of AAA's Barrio Boys, the most famous of which is probably Espanto Jr., who is one of the big mass vs. mass matches in El Hijo del Santo's career. He would also become the first Pentagon in AAA. Brillante, Zafiro 1, and Moro III as Diamante were a trio in AAA as well, known as Las Gemas del Ring. La Sombra also has notable relatives in his era: Espanto Jr. II, the son of the original and mid-carder in CMLL, Diamante, his brother-in-law, married to the daughter of Brillante. He used to work in CMLL regularly and held gold there, but has been mostly absent in the company since 2013. Dragon Rojo Jr. at times was thought to be a part of this family, but probably isn't, but at least was trained by many of the second generation in Durango. By 2010, La Sombra had already captured various titles at this time in CMLL, including the CMLL World Tag Team Championships with Volador Jr., the Mexican National Trios Championships with Sagrado and Volador Jr., and the NWA World Welterweight Championship. To get into this tournament, he was holding the CMLL World Trios titles with Mascara Dorada and La Sombra. We covered a title match of theirs for this very same belt on day 6. At this point, La Sombra had won 2 masks early in his career as Brillante Jr., and just a few months ago won his first as La Sombra from Filano. He'd go on to win 2 more before his own was taken by Atlantis at CMLL 82nd Anniversary. In a match of winners of the 80th Anniversary show, La Sombra, and the 81st Atlantis. I of course have to mention that along with La Mascara and Rush, La Sombra was one of the founding 3 members of Los Ingobernables, which is still going strong in CMLL today. Rush has taken it to Ring of Honor, Andrade to WWE, La Mascara in the Mexican Independence, and Naito and his branch in New Japan Pro Wrestling. It's truly become worldwide in the years since its inception in 2014. The group being known for being technicos of a different style, more willing to break the rules or take cheap ways out. Now, of course, Andrade is working in WWE, currently scheduled to be in their annual Money in the Bank gimmick match, which will go down as his first ladder match, since CMLL doesn't really do that gimmick. With the bios out of the way, how's the match? Great, they get tons of action in these 3 rounds. It's amazing how good Liger still was in 2010, nearly 15 years removed from his match that we looked at yesterday. Sombra in the early goings hits this great looking tope. Because this was before CMLL put the barrier in front of the audience, this lady gets Liger right in her lap. It's a little strange to see Liger be the Rudo and ditto for Sombra as Technico. The gear Sombra has, too, seems like it's Rudo-ish, but I suppose black gear should be expected of anyone named Shadow, regardless of alignment. Liger did a good job of punishing Sombra for some of his Ranas, just shutting them down with power bombs and catching Sombra in the middle of setting up some top turnbuckle moves. I have to mention that Liger's apron senton dive, which is very similar to the move Dr. Wagner Jr. uses. I'm not sure how regularly Liger does this move, so it might not be out of the ordinary, but sort of felt like a nod to Wagner, who was his great Lucha opponent of the 90s. By this time, Wagner was off in AAA. I'd certainly recommend this match. 2010 and 2011 saw CMLL treat Liger and Tanahashi as big deals when they came over. Liger had singles matches with Valdor Jr., Ultimo Guerrero, Mystico, and Dragon Rojo Jr., so it's more than just this one-off to check out. Be sure to check out all those other great singles matches he had around this time in CMLL. That's all for today's match review. This is Lost in Lucha signing out.